Hi everyone, it's Mitch, and it is Sunday, December 23rd, 2018, here with your free live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. To be honest, I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow, so not a lot of games going on tomorrow, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. Maybe we'll talk about some other things, and I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a Monday Night Football total. Even the dog of the day is going to probably go in hiatus. I'll probably do like a holiday message or something. We'll figure it out from there. But today, at least, we're going to do at least 3 free picks. Our best bets, of course, always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com Premium and Premium Plus. Of course, we do at least three free picks here, and we have free picks on every single game, every single day at sportschatplace.com. Hopefully you guys had a good day yesterday. We don't give out locks, but my best bets are at sportschatexperts.com as well as sportschatplace.com Premium and Premium Plus. But anyways, got a lot of college football bowls coming up after the. We got a lot going on in the college football bowls after Christmas on the 26th. Starting on the 26th again. Now's when the big schools start to get into action, the big conferences and the big games. A lot of guys sitting out, and I think that's what we're going to probably be talking about tomorrow. Some of the angles, some of the things we've seen in college basketball. So maybe tomorrow we'll just have the Christmas Eve betting angle show or something. Probably do the same thing on Christmas Day because, I don't know, we got NBA. I'll probably give out a bunch of premiums. I guess I could do totals and stuff. We'll figure it out. A lot of people talking about the premium picks yesterday. Tell you, it's like we had a good day, but I have to say there were 2 games that I gave out that I didn't love, and I lost them both, and it's like that's all I can think about. And it's like I liked Louisiana Tech against Hawaii, and I gave out the over instead, and I lost that one. And then I gave out the over in the Wake Forest game, the first one. The guy missed the field goal. I mean, we had Wake Forest. So we ended up being 1-1. It was weird with 1:05 left to go in the game. It looked like we were going to lose both ends of the thing. But we hit a lot of college basketball yesterday. Tons of it. And, NBA, I think we swept the board. 3-0. The Phoenix Suns tried to turn our winner into a loser. They couldn't do it. We had OKC and the Clippers, easy winners. But, of course, we do at least 3 free picks on this show every single day. Our best bets. Always over at Sports Chat Experts, where someone is always red hot. It was a monster day. I tell you, we've had a lot of bounces in this past year go against us. It was nice to see that some finally go in our favor. And I think, we got a few of those. We had, there's always going to be some that go against you. There's always going to be some that go for you. Sometimes you get them in bunches one way, and sometimes you get them in bunches the other way. And I know we've gone through streaks where it just seems like every single bounce went against us. And that, you know what? I know that will happen again. I'm not saying it'll happen today, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying, it's going to happen today. I'm just saying we know it's part of sports betting, that this stuff happens. It's like sometimes we're on the right end of it. Sometimes we're on the wrong end of it. Sometimes we avoid it altogether, which is really the best. If you can avoid those games that come down to that, always nice, but it doesn't always... Yeah, as I said in that Redskins-Titans game, I couldn't have said it enough times in the video. I didn't love the game, and that's why I didn't give it out as a premium pick. That's why I couldn't even give out a pick until 2 minutes before the game started because I just couldn't even get a read on it. And pretty much showed Yeah, we gave out Army in the premium. That was one of our best bets yesterday. Arizona State we had yesterday as well. Yep. We don't usually talk about yesterday. We kind of just try and look forward to today. And, of course, we got NFL in action, NBA. So let's get right into it. Let's see what's going on in the NFL that we haven't covered in our premium picks. Of course, yesterday in the premium, we only gave out one premium pick in the NFL yesterday. It was the Ravens. I really liked them yesterday. And I think today is a day where you kind of got to tread lightly in the NFL as well. You got to pick your spots because there are a lot of bombs out there, a lot of traps. These lines look tight as a vice. And I'll tell you, one of the spots where the line looks screwed up, and I already put my super contest picks in, but I got the line much lower than where it is now. And this is the Bengals against the Browns. The line in this thing is 10. Traditionally, as Chris Berman showed on ESPN this morning, if you were watching, and I happened to watch ESPN this morning, which was weird because I really never watch. I just was working on other things, so I just didn't change the channel. It's what was on last night when I turned the TV off. And I turned the TV on, and that's what was on. I was working, doing all kinds of other stuff, trying to help people with the premium and things like that. But one thing he talked about was this Bengals-Browns games and how high scoring they generally are. Now, one thing we have to remember is that the Browns went into Cincinnati a few weeks ago, and they absolutely routed the Bengals. There was the game where Andy Dalton got hurt. Driscoll came in. He played pretty well in the second half of that game, but it wasn't good enough. The Browns won pretty much going away in that thing. Now the Bengals are getting 10 points in this thing. It's crazy. That's a ton of points in a rivalry game. I think the Browns probably win this thing because they're actually playing the better football right now, but they're not playing that much better football. The Bengals are 6-8, the Browns 6-7-1. Neither of these teams are world beaters that I feel comfortable laying double digits. I'm going to take the 10 points with the Cincinnati Bengals in this one, and that'll be my first pick for today's show. I'm going to write these down. This is my lucky pen. It says on it, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see if you guys can do it. You can't see it. It says, anything is possible. The glare is hitting it just right. Yeah, it's very fancy. it's the fancy stuff. But anyways, took the Bengals, wrote it down on the paper. So this way, when I do the recap at the end for all the people that come in late. But, anyways. Free picks every single game, every single day at sportschatplace.com. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com as well as sportschatplace.com Premium and Premium Plus. We've been on the Ravens. Brandon is saying that the Ravens look really good. The weird thing is I think we've been on the Ravens every single game since Lamar Jackson has been in at quarterback. And I think we've covered every single time. I know they didn't beat the Chiefs outright, but I think they covered, and I'm pretty sure they covered. I don't go back and look at every single pick I ever made, but I know we've taken the Ravens almost every single week since Lamar Jackson's been the quarterback, and they've covered like no one's business. I think, you know what it was? Against Tampa Bay, it was a push last week. Was the one game. We didn't win, we didn't lose, it was a push. It was 8, and it ended up being right on 8. Tampa Bay missed an extra point. But, so anyways, I'm just checking on Facebook, like the people that want to get in the group here at the last second, get on the thing. So one of the things that on Facebook, while I'm on that subject, a lot of people send me friend requests. And I know a lot of the other people out there, a lot of the other cappers, a lot of people at sites, they accept all the friend requests and everything like that. And I generally don't. If I haven't met you in person, I generally don't accept your friend request. And it's nothing personal. It's just it's my personal page. So that's really the only thing. It's like if I meet you in person, if we're in Vegas and you say, hey, let's go watch a game or whatever, it's like, yeah, I'll friend you on Facebook. But if I don't know you, I don't, if I've never met you, then I just don't do it. I don't know. I know other guys, they accept everyone, with thousands and thousands and thousands of Facebook friends. But we're all in the group together. You guys know how to reach me. You send me emails, I answer them. It's not, I don't think it's anything one way or another. It's just more out of respect to the other people that I'm friends with on Facebook. Because it all mixed up. I know a lot of people follow me too. I don't know what. I don't think my life's that exciting, but if you so choose to, go right ahead. Let's go to Miami where the Dolphins are taking on the Jaguars. The Dolphins have been great at home this season. 6-1 straight up. 6-1 against the spread. The Jags 1-4 against the spread on the road. 1-5 straight up on the road and just 4-10 on the season. Looking at a pretty high draft pick where, I don't know, what do you think? Haskins from Ohio State maybe? For the quarterback spot, Jacksonville? First round pick? I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I think he might be a good fit there. There's a few other guys, but I think Haskins actually might be a good fit. Kind of reminds me of Byron Leftwich in the way that he played quarterback in Jacksonville, and he had a pretty good run there. And, it probably endeared himself with Jacksonville fans. Pocket passer type guy, a guy who can throw the ball downfield, is, can hit the wide open receivers. Not 100% perfect, but, a way big upgrade over anything that they've seen in recent years. Those of you that have followed the show and the show that I do with Tony on the podcast and all that, you guys know I panned that Blake Bortles pick and the Gabbert pick. So it's like those two draft picks have really set this organization back for a long time, and now they can possibly escape from it with a solid quarterback pick. There'll be other guys that come up in the discussion, but what you don't want to do is sit around and get stuck with a Trace McSorley, who everyone seems to become enamored with these Penn State quarterbacks when the draft rolls around. And maybe tomorrow and Christmas Day we'll talk NFL draft prospects too and who fits where. Anyways, I kind of like the Jags here though, plus the points. I think this is probably a low-scoring field goal type game. The Dolphins are pretty sloppy. The Jaguars are ultra sloppy. I think this is a low-scoring game. The total set at 38.5. I could definitely see an under here, but I kind of like the Jags plus the 3.5 at Miami. 30% of the bets here on the Jaguars, and the line has gone from 4 to 3.5. Kind of fits our model, so I'll take the Jags plus the 3.5, and that'll be our second pick for today's show. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play the full game or not. I'm not a doctor. I only play one on YouTube and chat rooms. But I have no idea if he's going to play. I don't know him personally, and I only know what I hear. He says he wants to play. I know he's a tough guy, and I know that it will be a pretty tough job for an interim head coach to remove him from a game that he doesn't want to come out of. I would say, unless he goes out on his ass, my guess is he's not coming out of the game because, I don't bet tennis. We cover tennis at the site, and our new site design should be out on Tuesday, the day after, or Wednesday. Should be out on the 26th. And, we cover tennis on the site, and we'll probably cover it a little bit even heavier this year as kind of really picked it up this past year, and I think we'll pick it up some more. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks on this show every single day. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com. I will be in Vegas for the Super Bowl. I made my reservations. Me and Craig Trapp both going to be there. These NBA games, I think I have premium picks on those, the ones that are being asked about. Is the defense better than the Super Bowl Ray Lewis defense? No, it isn't. It's not as good. it's a good defense. It's not as good as the Ray Lewis defense with Ed Reed and Nata. I just think it was a better straight up the middle defense. I think the best defenses have the killer nose tackle, the great middle linebacker, and the safety that can decapitate you. And that Ravens defense, the one that won the last time, they had all those things. They had Nata, who could dominate in the trenches. They had Ray Lewis, who could sideline to sideline, and then Ed Reed, who was just a ball hawking, terror in the secondary. So I think that defense was a little better than this Ravens defense. I think this Ravens team is very, very good. And Ozzie Newsome is the greatest general, one of the best general managers in the history of football. I mean, he got Lamar Jackson with one of the last picks in the NFL draft. I mean, you don't think the Cardinals would want to trade Josh Rosen for Lamar Jackson right now? Oof, they're kicking themselves. Josh Rosen, what a joke of a pick that was. I would take Haskins over Herbert. I don't think Herbert might not be there when the Jags pick also, because the Giants will be picking up there, and they might be going quarterback too. But anyways, let's get to another NFL pick. What the hell? We've done two. Let's do another one, and then we'll do some NBA. Got the Rams up against the Cardinals, and in one of the late games. You know what? I'll come back on live and do that one at 4:00 instead. How about that? The game starts at 4:05. I'll come back at 3:55 or something, and we'll do the Cardinals Rams, or maybe 3:45. We'll do Cardinals Rams live. We'll have the NFL going on my TV sets. Maybe I'll bring the camera over there, and we'll do it that way. So let's go to one more early game then. Let's see. I have a bunch. I didn't really give out a ton of premiums in the early games, so let's see. How about the Lions plus the points, plus the 6.5 against the Vikings? Lions are just terrible. I mean, just a terrible, terrible, terrible team. But I'll tell you, I don't have a Christmas tree. We got palm trees. The Kirk Cousins was it turns out to be one of the more disappointing players in the NFL this season. I just think the Lions at home. I think the Vikings probably win this game, but it's probably more exciting than it needs to be. I'll take the Lions plus the points. I think in today's NFL, these lines today look tight as a vice. I mean, these are the tightest lines I've seen this NFL season. I think that these are good. These are some of the toughest games I've seen there. It's going to be on the same vehicles that I always do it on, which is Periscope, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. But I'll come back on at 3:45, I promise, and we'll do the Rams Cardinals game and maybe a total on one of the other games, because I have premium picks on the other games. It's part of my late 3-pack. Use the code BULB. Get 15% off. I didn't even mention it. It's on the screen. It's right there. Or right here. There we go. Anyways, let's go to the NBA. See what we got cooking. I got 3 premium picks in the NBA. We swept the board in our 3 NBA picks yesterday. Yesterday's NBA picks had the Clippers, the Suns, and the Thunder. And the Suns tried everything in their power to make us losers, but we would have nothing of it. Devin Booker misses a free throw with seconds left to go that could have put us on at least an off number, and ended the game, but instead misses it. Game goes to overtime, triple overtime. It's come on, I'm getting 6.5. I'm feeling good, but the more overtimes you play, the more chances you have that the Suns are going to collapse. Weird thing about the Suns, right? Kelly Oubre, it's they don't give him the ball. It's why isn't he allowed to shoot? He's a really good shooter. I like Oubre. When he was in Kansas on the wing, is very, very hard to defend. Meanwhile, Ariza, it was weird. It was because it was the trade teams, right? So Ariza playing for Washington and Oubre was on the Suns, and it was kind of like, right, the thing, and it just didn't make any sense. I don't know. It is what it is, right? I would give Oubre the ball. I would, in those fouling situations especially, because he can hit free throws. Just some of these teams, I'm not even sure what they're thinking, right? So how about the Hornets here against the Celtics? I think we got the World are on the Celtics in this game. And we know when the World is on the Celtics, you got to run the other direction. The Celtics at 18-13 this season have to be maybe one of the, it's crazy because at 18-13 they're still one of the most disappointing teams in basketball. And the weird thing about the Celtics is, I think they play better without Kyrie. It's like in the playoffs last year, they were better without him. It's the better team, more consistent. I know the Hornets had a nice run, but just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. While the Celtics 7-3 against the spread in their last 10, 8-6 against the number at home. The Hornets 7-5 against the spread on the road, but just 4-8 straight up. That means they usually get too many points, and I think that's what's happening here. I think the Celtics win by like 4 or 5, maybe. I think it comes down to the end, and I'll take the Hornets plus my 7 points. Take my chances in that one. That'll be our first NBA pick, our fourth pick of the show. We'll do one more just for the heck of it. Let's see what we got. Oof, here's a gruesome one. We got the Bulls against the Cavs. Cavs laying a point in this one. Both these teams 8-25. That means they're combined 16-50. Wow, 16-50. That means that they win 32% of their games. These guys, the Bulls and the Cavs, both of them identical, 8-25. Lottery teams 3-7 straight up in their last 10, and both of them 4-6 against the number. The Bulls 6-9 against the spread at home, are on the road. The Cavs 7-10 against the spread at home. This is a crazy, crazy game. The Cavs 5-12 at home, and the Bulls 3-12 on the road. These are two teams that, you can't get any more identical than these two teams. The weird thing is that the Cavs are only laying a point in this one. Chicago won the last meeting of these two by 1 point, and the Cavs won last year, but that didn't matter. They had a guy named LeBron James on their team. I like the way the Bulls are kind of improving. I know that they keep getting injured and banged up and all that other stuff, but the Cavs, they've played some of the tougher teams in these recent losses, losing to Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Toronto, beating Indy, beating the Knicks, losing at Milwaukee, beating Washington when they were really slumping, losing at Sacktown, and of course the Warriors against the Cavs. What a joke that is now, right? And the other side of it, the Bulls, with this makeshift ragtag team, Bobby Portis. This guy's he's a walking injury list. But I expect the Bulls to play hard in this one. I'm going to take my 1 point here, and I'm going to take the Chicago Bulls. So we took 5 dogs on today's show, and we're going to wrap it up. Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, I didn't ask this before, but if you're watching us on YouTube, if you could give us the thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate it. I don't demand it like some of the other guys do. Say, when I get to 50 thumbs up, I'll give you my shitty pick. No, these aren't my best bets, but I try and win them all, but I'm not saying that I'm just saying that the other guys do it that way, kind of like they demand you hit the thumbs up. I'm just asking you if you could do it. It helps us a bunch. It takes you about a half a second. I know we have some trolls out there that like to hit the thumbs down on me, and that's all part of it. I don't really care. But if you could hit that thumbs up on YouTube, I would greatly appreciate it. But like I said, not mandatory, not going to mean the end of the show, not going to mean I'm not going to show it on YouTube, none of those things. Doesn't really matter. But I'm going to see you guys at 3:45-ish So 340, 345. There'll be games going on, so we're going to have games going on and everything while I'm on. And we'll go do it. So recapping today's picks, we took the Bengals plus 10 points, the Jaguars plus 3.5 points, the Lions plus 6.5 points. So we got a home dog and 2 road dogs getting decent numbers. And then we got the Hornets plus 7 in the NBA. And then we took the Chicago Bulls plus 1. So 5 dogs. My best bets, of course, over at sportschatexperts.com. Use the discount code BULB. Get 15% off. And I'll see you guys around 3:40, 3:45-ish. Around that time, we'll do some late picks. I didn't give out a pick today in that Rams game, and then we could do some totals on the other stuff. And there's even more NBA we can talk about too if you guys are in the mood. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys in a few hours.